Hey everybody! So today I'm just going to be showing you how I did my DIY lightning bolt and lightning strike victim costume for Halloween. For those of you that can't tell, that is my friend Neicy in the back. But if you've watched Discussion Gangsters, then you already know who Neicy is, one of our other hosts. But Neicy is not only one of our other hosts, she's also my friend, and a lot of people don't know she's also my neighbor. Like, I've walked to her house with an onion when she was cooking dinner kind of neighbor. But anyway, Neicy always comes over to help me out with all of my crafty things. So the first thing we're doing is we took a big piece of foam board and I just drew a general kind of lightning bolt shape on it. And now we're just trying to cut through it with a knife and scissors. Please do not hold the scissors like I am. I knew that it was dumb at the time, but I just had to get through it anyway. And I did slice my finger a little bit, not badly, but still, disclaimer, don't hold scissors like that at home. So it did take quite a bit of effort. She's using the knife, I'm using the scissors, and it didn't actually go all the way through the back of the foam board. Oh, there's the cat, my little stalker. But so we had to just go through it a few times and then just kind of tear it at the parts where we had cut, almost like it was a perforation a bit, and then just rip off any of the extra or use the knife to cut through the extra pieces. But as you can see here, we're just like breaking it apart with our hands. It doesn't have to be very pretty because this is just kind of the base part. Then the next thing we did after the lightning bolt was completely cut out was take a very large piece of yellow felt, cut it down until it was the size that we wanted, and then we started to figure out how to cut the pieces so that they would be able to be folded over the edges. And then we were going to take this giant bag of polyfill, which is the stuffing that they use in like things like pillows and whatnot, and we're going to stuff the front of it so that it has more of a fluffy kind of look in the front of the lightning bolt. Here's Neicy and her handy dandy hot glue gun, which we use for everything. So yeah, the first thing we did is just cut up the pieces so that they could be folded to go around the lightning bolt edges as we needed them to. Then just cut off any excess pieces because you really don't need to cover like the entire back of it. You just kind of need the edges, and then use your hot glue gun and just make it fold it down and press it down so that it stays on there nicely. Then we pretty much just kept doing that for all the sides. Cut, fold, glue, cut, fold, glue, cut, glue, fold, whatever. You know what I mean? After we got like the first three edges down, then we started to stuff the front of it with the polyfill. Then we realized it might be easier if we turned it to the front so we could see exactly how much we were filling and make sure we were not leaving any big gaps anywhere. Then once that part was done, we just turned it back over and continued the same thing, cut off all the excess, cut, glue, fold, wash, rinse, repeat. So after the front part was done and we were completely done putting all the polyfill that we wanted to use in it, we were using the extra cut pieces from the felt to cover the back. The back we didn't need to use polyfill because we were not stuffing the backside, and it doesn't need to be very pretty because nobody's really going to see that part anyway. So we were just using any like excess pieces that we had that we could cut up and make it fit.
I'm really proud of this lightning bolt.
And once it was finished, we were gluing Velcro dots and straps on it so that it would go around my boyfriend's chest and arms so that he would be able to wear this as his costume. Then we had to move on to my costume where Jay came in and helped me. Jay's my boyfriend. There he is. And I put the shirt on and he is just right now marking all the spots where we're deciding that we want to put the holes in it for the lightning strike look effect. So he's just taking a marker and any spots where we're like, okay, here, he's just putting a little dot. So all the spots that he put a mark on, we were sectioning them off with like a rubber band. And we kept a little bowl of water with us just for safety. You never know, just in case. Can't be too safe with playing with fire. So we're marking off each section with a rubber band. And we're just gonna take the long grill lighter and just burn it. The reason we're burning it instead of just cutting it is so that it'll also get that like singed burn look. When we took the first one out, I felt like the hole was a little bit too small. It was a good looking hole, it got like the singed look that I wanted, but it was too small, so we redid that one. But you know, you always throw the first waffle away. After we tried it again, it was a little bit bigger, kind of more the size I wanted for that spot. And then we just kind of went through and continued to do the same thing for all the spots. This one I was having a hard time blowing out and I started to freak out and I dumped it in the water. He was trying to stop me. He didn't want me to wet the shirt, but I was freaking out a little bit because I was blowing on it and the flame was just getting bigger. It wasn't going out, so the spot got wet, but it wasn't really that big of a deal, honestly. So then we just kept going through, lighting them on fire, making them into the shape that we wanted. And it was just kind of a team effort. It was kind of cute, actually. It was a little bit of a bonding experience. I mean, who doesn't love lighting stuff on fire? Y'all don't like clothes on fire with your boyfriends? There's a cat in the background, as he always is. And to be honest, I bet he probably wasn't even using the litter box. He just liked to be in people's business. After we got the hang of it, we realized we could probably both do one at the same time. So we just kind of lit them both on fire together. It was just really fun after a while. And then what he's doing right there is, the reason he was rubbing them together is because he was rubbing like the smudge from the embers on it to make it look even more kind of burnt around the edges. It's gonna look like that. Give me my shirt back. See any area? Give me my shirt back. Help. Yeah. Help. I'm surprised yours didn't go to the shoulder part. It almost did. Help. Man, I feel so smaller now. So after I got my arm stuck in one of the holes, I was just looking around to see how it looked, and I felt like it could use a few more holes, so I was letting him look around and kind of decide where to put them. We wanted to take a big like chunk of the bottom of the shirt off, but we realized we didn't have to actually burn that entire spot. We could just cut most of that off, because why do we need to burn the whole thing? So we just cut most of that piece off and made it into a much smaller piece, and then we still got the singed edges look. This is actually a lot of fun. I love fire, and I'm glad that he decided to help me with this, because frankly, even though it was kind of a one-person job, it was just fun for us to do this together. Next, we moved on to the umbrella. So we just took an old umbrella that we were willing to part with and began cutting holes in it and ripping it to create the struck by lightning kind of look. Trying to figure out the best ways to cut it without damaging the entire structural integrity of the umbrella, because once we got outside, we didn't want the metal arms to just be kind of flailing all over the place, all loose. And like I said, this was a cheap umbrella in the first place, so we didn't know what might happen if we just cut everything off directly from the bottom. And here's the finished product. The next part was adding the finishing touches. So on my face, I just put some cheap black eyeshadow for kind of the sooty, burnt look, and just applied it in random places. And then I also put it on some parts of my shirt, because even though some parts are not necessarily burnt all the way holes through, it could still be kind of a burnt, sooty look. I felt it added a little bit to the overall costume. And then I just had Jay help me with the ones on the back, because obviously I couldn't reach them, which yes, I probably could have took the shirt off, but it's easier to see exactly where everything is if I'm already wearing it. I made an effort to make my hair look as crazy as possible, but so I just took my pick and kind of reverse picked it a bit. And this is kind of the best I could do. And then here's our final look. So thank you to my boyfriend Jay and my friend Neicy for helping make these possible, and I hope you guys enjoy the video.